to be coming for this patch. It
beautiful,
is
guys.
the Shattered Desert. And there was a little lore blurb that came out about a week ago that was kind of leading into this, and you can actually talk on the patch notes. It is allowed. We finally have a section for you
Bugs
to
are
talk about the
important to talk
Shattered
about.
Desert. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, shout out to Alex and the environment team here, but this was a really fun map to work on, and we finally got to have a real environment, desert environment that is brought to Paladins, which was a really exciting challenge for us. There'll be some slightly different gameplay elements Gary will talk on a little bit later, but the sort of high-level kind of lore theme here has a lot of hooks that's going to become really interesting to pay attention to as the year develops. But
what are all these portals? What are all
I
these
don't
tears?
know. It's like tears in reality of some sort. We also have a fun little spirit fox circling the spawn room tree here, which is a really great little detail. But this map is basically a place where a temple was erected around the shattered remnants from the, the fallen remnants of the shattered moon. That's a mouthful.
But yeah, guys, you've seen the Shattered Moon, right, on all of our maps. And now we're getting a little bit more of a peek into maybe some of the history on why, how, where, what, where, and when. Like, even walking around in this map, like, this map brings something new that Paladins had. Like, we didn't have a desert map, right? And we've done it in such a way that is really cool. Gore, you mentioned earlier that it's like, when you think of desert map, you thought of like yellow and bland, right?
Sand, plains for miles. Maybe if you're lucky, you're gonna have some like cacti that are popped up somewhere to make it feel, or you get like a western vibe or something. This, like, it feels like a ruins. It feels like a desert, but you've managed to, I want to say, encompass it in a way that actually makes it a lot more interesting. Like something that you wouldn't expect, I guess, when you hear the phrase "shattered desert."
Yeah, we played with this idea with the kind of ancient ruins with this sort of celestial fox deity motif. Which also kind of gave us access to a color palette to play with to kind of cool down the desert, to have something feel a little more unique. You can still get the kind of expected desert vistas when you look out in the horizon.
So it looks like right here, I mean, like on any other map, there'd probably be a wall here, right?
Yes.
This would be the edge. Can you walk beyond the edges? And like, is this going to be like some like Halo 3, like the Sentinels are just going to start attacking? Like, if you leave the map, turrets immediately kill you?
That's a good point.
So you're touching on some of the unique gameplay elements that this map is bringing. So as you can see right now on screen, there's this kind of these stripes, lingering stripes of runic fire. These are both present on the outskirts of the map. Also, where my cameraman is standing is in like this kind of desert quicksand. So it's not quite a lethal hazard, right? However, you probably don't want to fight out here outside of this flank route. And then if you touch the fire portion, which if he's brave enough he'll do, it's gonna take care of you real quick, much as a hazard would in our normal apps. However, it's not done via a drop off. It's not done via a cliff face. And it's something new. And those flames are actually the super damaging ones. There's another instance of these flames. Kev, if you could switch to maybe a flying character, maybe Andro or Drogos. But so there's some new things we've done with the tops of the maps, where there's spots where we maybe a cooldown sheet. yeah.
There we go.
So these fire runes, or fire, not runes, but kind of like
possibly may or may not be moon magic.
Moon magic fire is allocated to some of the areas where players aren't really meant to be standing. However, this map, both in flow and function, we wanted to feel less restrictive. We wanted it to be very open, so we're not going to put blocking volumes there. That like basically allow players to like, like they would get up to, if they're flying over it, right, they'd come into contact with a visible wall. That wasn't the goal. The goal was to like allow you to traverse, use all of our characters' abilities very crazily, however you guys want. But still having the gameplay thing where it's like, we don't want characters to be able to get up on these high perches and just stand there forever and be able to shoot down on people, because it's unhealthy for gameplay. But this map embodies big and open. It's a lot of fun to play with. This capture point is super dynamic, and we haven't really scratched this itch in Paladins with any of our current maps. So we're really happy to be able to bring this experience to you guys, and we're excited to see you guys get in and play.
And it's nice to have another siege map so soon,
Yes.
right? Because our players love siege maps, and
Yes.
so we didn't have one for a while. Then we released Warder's Gate, and now we've got Shattered Desert right after it, like back to back.
2 patches later, you're getting another siege map. That is something to be excited about. I think I'm most excited to see the challenge of how far you can get outside the map. Like I want to see like loadouts build as tanky as you possibly can. How much health. And can you get far enough?
On the outskirts,
on the
no. On the outskirts,
make
there
it.
is a blocking volume on that.
You'll die.
Yeah.
There is no surviving. Either way, it's looking amazing. I love the feel and the vibe of this map, as well as the flames and the effects that they have, just because, like you said, it does leave it a lot more open. But as with all good things, a map is going to be coming in with a new event. The event is called the End Times. It's the whole kind of theme, I think, that's been tackled so far. And there's going to be lore behind it. We've already had like a little bit of a tidbit that came through in like text form online, but there's going to be more coming through. So I guess what lore is being attached not only to the map, but with this new event that's going to be coming into the game.
Okay, so if you guys have been paying attention to the story of the realm thus far, right? The short story that we released earlier was super good. It really personified some really cool elements of our characters. But we're things are happening.
Yes.
Powerful individuals are grouping up, right? A synopsis, if you haven't read it, is now that Imani has kind of come onto the scene after the Dragon's Call event, right? The beacon was lit. She appeared, is now part of the realm, and she has sought out Valera. And like their meeting wasn't quite happenstance. To them, it was kind of happenstance, but really it was a far more powerful being, or more powerful. It's kind of weird how the power scales. But Genos was pulling strings behind the scenes to arrange this meeting of the Paladins powerhouses, right? And what they determined, right, was they're trying to plan and seek out the reasonings and the movements behind the magistrate's recent actions. And they determined that in the Shattered Desert, the new siege map we are just releasing, lies the key to some very powerful elements that are going to greatly impact the future of the realm. And right now, all the forces are being drawn to the Shattered Desert, and they're like flabbergasted by all these tears, these portals. Things are kind of out of flux. You may have seen elements of it in 2.1. Perhaps these tears and rifts were appearing in the character loading lobby outside in the Vista.